I'm working with four guys right now who have had really good 2025s. They finished off in this incredible way, like genuinely for all of them, the best year they've had in business so far and usually in wider life. But 2026 is a big one for them now because for the first time in their lives, they don't have to hustle. They haven't got this fear driving them. And their decision making now matters so much more. It's no longer being in charge of this business that's like a rowboat in the ocean. It's more like an aircraft carrier. It's more powerful. It's more formidable, but it takes longer to turn. It's slower to correct course. It needs more intention behind it. So this business gives them the freedom and it gives them impact, but it also has more riding on it. And this is very, very uncomfortable ground for two main reasons. The first is what I alluded to there. They've spent their entire lives being comfortable in the uncomfortable. They thrived under stress. They forced themselves to work hard. They bet against impossible odds to get the business off the ground. And honestly, they won. They did it. They outworked the competition. They outworked the odds. They outworked their own limitations. And they describe this consistently as like this internal inner Superman or their inner underdog. It's the thing that got them to like fight for this growth. And this part of them has been dominant and it's been essential and it's been incredibly effective too. But honestly, it's just the wrong tool for this new job. And second, they're doing like all of them, and this is probably something to do with the people who are attracted to working with me. They're doing incredibly well by taking themselves out of this hustle mode and sitting back and thinking and observing and spending less time working and more time working on themselves. Again, it's the strategic way. They're kind of already stepping into the next level. And this is essential for their business growth and that strategic thinking, long-term decision making. But when they do that, there's this void that exists now where there used to be action, there used to be just hustle, but now there's space for thought, emotion, old stories, and basically shit they don't enjoy to arise up. Thoughts and emotions that their previously hustling mindset didn't allow to surface. So the family issues that they thought they'd move beyond pop up, or old patterns of behavior they wished they'd never meet and seeing themselves again have come to light. And even like with some people, it's like old desires that they see as like immature, irresponsible. And now they're left with this inner conflict of, on paper, I'm so successful, but in my mind, I'm still the same man. I had exactly this experience when I earned my Green Beret, when I became a Royal Marines Commando and finished the training of Commando training. I'd worked for this lid for years, and I expected that I'd have this transformative moment when I put it on my head. And I remember lifting off my cap comforter, which is the kind of the final headwear that you get given. And you put on the Green Beret, and I put on this Green Beret of the Royal Marines. It symbolizes so much. And I realized that I was just the same man in a different hat, the same limitations, the same belief, the same weaknesses, the same strengths. And I thought I'd transform at that. Like a part of me genuinely thought I'd transform. And then later on, when my business hit different levels of success, or when I became married, or when I got married, I thought I'd instantly change. When I had a kid, and there was definitely some more growth that happened from becoming a father, but I was still the same person. There's no changing that. There's no getting away from who I really was. And these problems that we have, they don't go away through achievement. And actually, the more freedom that you acquire, the more they have the space to bubble to the surface. So think about it like this. Why else would so many successful people fuck up their lives in such predictable ways? The affairs, the gambling, drug use, self-sabotage, phone use, like there's so many different ways that people, it seems inevitable, fuck up their lives. And it's also obvious from the outside. You can see it coming a mile away. Also inevitable when you try and rid yourselves from internal demons through external progress. But as ever, our psychic pain is nothing but an indication of our limitations. The discomfort you feel is the stretching of the edges of your identity. It's like a football being blown up to its full capacity and the stitches start straining and popping. Your identity is at its limits. And you can either ignore that stretching feeling, pretend you're not really feeling that, hide yourself, try and turn back to hustle or cover it up, or mask it with self-sabotage. And the crazy thing, the most beautiful and optimistic thing about this though, is that the pain that feels so personal and so intense and so all-consuming and ever-present is showing you exactly how you can grow. These 4 guys that I'm working with right now will learn about themselves through this work and developmental fitness and inevitably find their next level in business, the very best version of them, and probably their old intensity and a more meaningful existence that carries over to all areas of their life because they chose to do the courageous thing, which is turning in and toward their limitations and their pain instead of ignoring it. So here's how I'm working with these guys right now. The first thing we do is really get to know their inner landscape. I'm picking apart their stories and beliefs and emotional loops, and they're doing it too. It's a collaborative work. And in doing that, it reveals the story in its true form, what's really going on here. Secondly, and these all happen concurrently, by the way, or in different orders for different people. It's just this is the way that it should work. Personal work's a bit more messy in general. But the second thing we're doing is building out this vision of the future. And it's not just a kind of dream board thing. It's what's the life that you really fucking want? Like, what's the dream scenario for you? What do you want it to look like? Let's get specific with numbers. How much does that cost? How many hours do you want to work a week? What kind of impact do you want to have on the world? What does the ultimate version of your product and your business look like? What does an incredible relationship look like? What does incredible fitness look like? What does a maximal life look like? And we build out this vision of the future that feels like an adventure to them, and it calls into existence this very best version of yourself. When you have that articulated vision of this is what I want my life to look like, there's a part of you that goes, yes, I'm going towards this, I'm leveling up. And third, we're building this toolkit to master their minds and build elite mental fitness. There's these 4 components of mental fitness that I've talked about at length before. And one thing we're doing here is we're building those 4 components of mental fitness. And this all takes the form of sets and reps, because building mental fitness is a sets and reps game. It's a case of creating adaptation through intentional training.